Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So October is going to be a very slow month after the Worldwide Download Celebration. I mean, Dokkan typically is like this, right? Where typically, you know, things sort of die down for a little bit after these major, huge hype celebrations. So in October, with definitely a lot less going on in Dokkan, I can catch up on some showcases for some units I wasn't able to get around to. So today we're going to take a look at this character right here. This is this Golden Frieza and Sorbet unit. They did get their EZA, and I think that this character is actually kind of decent. I mean, for the most part, probably in like a Super Battle Road run. One huge issue for this character, which Dokkan didn't really address with the character's EZA, so this unit's mostly dead, I guess, is the fact that because it's Golden Frieza and Sorbet is part of the card here, we have really limited teams, and the link set is not very good. So we're on Join Forces, Terrifying Conquerors, Final Trump Card, and Battle of Wits. Now, I was using this Golden Frieza and Sorbet in the Battle of Wits Super Battle Road stage. This unit was very effective in there. Right, again, Super Battle Road runs, I think this character could be pretty good. But that's probably about how they're going to be limited. And then their link set too, not really too crazy. New Frieza Army, Brainiacs, Coward, Cold Judgment, Thirst for Conquest, Prodigies, Shattering Limit. New Frieza Army. What were they cooking with this, huh? And guess what? You might see Chilai there and say, oh, Chilai is pretty good. And sure she is. But guess what? Golden Frieza and Sorbet are not on Space Traveling Warriors. So, nope, we're not getting New Frieza Army. No. Not happening. Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Alright, so let's take this unit into some stages and see how they can perform. It is so funny to see. I remember when this unit first came out, like, they were kind of mid to the point where I was anticipating this unit EZAing right away. And that did not happen, right? I remember, like, this was one of the first units I got to link level 10. This might have been like the 30th unit I got to link level 10, or maybe even a little bit lower than that, right? It was very early on when I link leveled this unit to full level 10 links, and the unit didn't end up getting their EZA till like 2 years later. It's crazy. Alright guys, let's take a look at how we do in terms of damage and stuff like that from the Golden Frieza and Sorbet unit. We'll be able to see. What's funny is this is where you could start talking about really bad in terms of the link set. Let me just quickly show exactly how bad this is, right, in terms of links for this character. So these are the characters right here in which Golden Frieza and Sorbet are linking the best. Sealess is not a good unit to use with this character. We'll do it for the links, but that's it. This guy is solid, but you go through, like, this is just, like, this is a mess, right? This is an absolute mess for this Golden Frieza and Sorbet in terms of their links, right? So we're at 232k right there. Okay. We are getting the full support from Turles. We're fighting a superclass enemy. So this Frieza and Sorbet, right? They do, so their super attack effects is probably, might be where they're strongest. This is what you want to take advantage of. So they do supreme damage with a high chance to stun, so 50% chance to stun. They also give extreme class allies 20% attack and defense for the turn. So that could be useful. There is incentive to have this character in slot 1 too. So then they get 120% attack and defense start of turn, another 100% attack and defense for the first 7 turns from the start of turn. After turn 8, they lose 100% attack and only 100% defense at that point. Doesn't matter, because this is like a Super Battle Road or Battlefield character anyway. Then this character gets 6 keys, so it's a guaranteed super, a guaranteed crit, and a guaranteed stun within the same turn after receiving an attack. And then this unit gets 50% damage reduction and 50% attack when HP is 50% or less. So, best case scenario with this character, what we would have happen is, you know, you'd go into, I think Battle of Wits is the most recent Super Battle Road stage that this character could participate in, right? You go into Battle of Wits, Super Battle Road, turn 1 you survive, but you take a lot of damage. Then you have this character in turn 2, you're under 50% HP, they have the damage reduction, and you can put them in slot 1, then they have the guaranteed stun, right? Which can be very effective, right? It's it's a unit that you're certainly going to need some luck for, right? Because this character is way better. With the 50% damage reduction up, they're definitely decent. Easily good enough to run, right? Especially, too, when we're talking about this character also having, whatchamacallit, the guaranteed stun, right? Guaranteed stun, guaranteed crit, 50% damage reduction. That's pretty solid, but it's just like sort of specific turns in Super Battle Road where we could sort of take advantage of that. But I mean, I was able to do that, right? I believe I did use this character in my Battle with No Item run, I believe. That stage, you know, that roster's a little weird, so it can be a little bit finicky. Okay, so right here, we'll be able to see it. We'll be able to see Golden Frieza, you know, sort of get the ability, right? The guaranteed crit and stuff like that. So, potentially, you would be running this unit in, like, slot 1. But the reason I say full additionals for this character is probably you want to do, I guess, maybe Dodge. I feel like Dodge is just never a bad idea these days with how hard bosses hit. But if you go full additional on this Golden Frieza and Sorbet, you know, that he has a 50% chance to stun. So let's pretend Golden Frieza's in slot 1. You double super. That's 2 chances for the 50% chance to stun. And then there's also the Extreme Class Allies, 20% attack and defense for 1 turn. So then we'd also be getting the support buff, essentially, for the rest of the rotation by this unit double supering in slot 1, which could be very effective as well, right? Now, there's not really too much for us to look at with this character, I guess. I would like to see this Golden Frieza and Sorbet. We definitely got to fall below 50% HP, so we can get that extra 50% attack that he gets access to. So I guess let's hop into another event, and let's try and do that, right? Let's go ahead and fall below 50% HP, and then see the Golden Frieza and Sorbet with that little bit of extra attack they get. But the extra attack under 50% HP is not the big deal. It's that 50% damage reduction, which, of course, is just a very, very powerful ability. Alright, guys, so here we are in another event. I brought Deborah's SSR. He'll take some damage. We'll fall below 50% HP. Now, I'm just curious, right? What happens once we take away a lot of those links? 129k defense, yeah. Thirst for Conquest, Cold Judgment, and Brainiacs. All 3 of those, like, that's a lot right there, right? Brainiacs, 15% defense. Cold Judgment, 25% defense. Thirst for Conquest, 15% defense. Shattering the Limit, 5% defense. All of the links activated with Sealess are defensive links, right? So, of course, we do want to keep in mind that when we're not next to Sealess, we are going to be getting significantly lower defensive output. Okay, the Vegeta crit us. That's always a funny bug. Alright, so a 2 million attack stat. It is a guaranteed crit, which is cool, but I mean, yeah, the 2 million attack stats are not the craziest. This unit's performance, I feel like, is just not gonna look good at all. But I feel like all of the stuns and the damage reduction, and then the defense on super attack to the full rotation, I do feel like it's actually, like, this can be a fairly handy unit. I do think so. But this is a specific type of content character, right? Like, you can use this character in Battlefield and Super Battle Road especially. I feel like maybe an EZA stage, perhaps. There isn't one. This unit is only good for 2 EZAs right now. The physical LR Bardock and then the int LR Vegito, right? But, like, if there was some AGL unit that needed to EZA and we could use this character there, that damage reduction could be very valuable, right? That actually could be pretty solid. Okay, so this will be a little bit of a better turn. We'll get some support from Cooler. Remember that the base Cooler does give 30% support to Terrifying Conquerors, which, of course, Frieza is on. Yeah, there's not really too much variations to see here. I guess Frieza does lose attack after 7 turns, so I guess we'll come back after we've taken some damage, and then maybe we'll see Frieza after he's lost his extra attack. Now, we got a double super attack right there from Golden Frieza and Sorbet. Remember that means that the 20% attack and defense, both Sealess and Tech Cooler got that buff twice, which is pretty useful, right? So, alright, we'll come back after we've taken some damage. We fall under 50% HP, and then again, I'd also like to see what happens, you know, once we're on turn 8+, and this unit has lost their buff as well. Alright, we did die, trying to fall into the 50% HP, but here's a turn without Sealess. I guess let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? No Sealess on rotation, and we can see, I guess, the damage that Golden Frieza will do. We have a few links activated: Shattered Limit, Cold Judgment, Thirst for Conquest. I guess a similar level of performance. This tech free-to-play cooler that came out actually could be kind of useful for this Golden Frieza and Sorbet, for sure. Okay. Alright, so again, we'll come back. Let's, you know, have this, you know, we'll fall under 50% HP this time, hopefully not die, and we'll get these buffs going. Alright, we could do this rotation right here, because with the double support and a few links activated, I mean, this could be a decent attack stat for Golden Frieza. At least, I guess, a little bit of a different number right here. Still do want to take the damage to fall below 50%, but with some support units and stuff like that, hopefully we could see some better numbers from the Golden Frieza and Sorbet. Again, this is a character I don't want to be too harsh on, because they have a complete purpose to this character, right? Like, this is not an aimless, stupid, horrible design or something like that. Like, I can envision this character being helpful in, you know, specific Super Battle Road and, you know, stages, Battlefield, EZAs, and stuff like that. And I do think there's value to that, right? A character that actually has a defined role is definitely a good thing. Alright guys, wow, we're actually going to get the Sealess transformation. It's been quite a while since I've had this in a video right here. Okay, we're going to get the Turles transformation as well. That's a huge pain in the dick, because I would have liked the support type buff for Golden Frieza, but sure. This video is quickly becoming a very big pain in the ass. Okay, so now Golden Frieza is going to have a little bit of extra attack, right? 50%, and we do also have the damage reduction up as well. I shouldn't need to use an item right here. I do want to be a little bit cautious here. Okay, so on the next turn, we'll be able to get some support for Golden Frieza, the extra attack. And then, of course, he does have the guaranteed crits as well. The next turn will be our last turn with the attack, right? Because, again, Golden Frieza and Sorbet, they get 100% attack and defense for the first 7 turns. So we'll see what happens once that has worn off as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what we get right here. Okay, so this is the last turn where we will have the attack buff for Golden Frieza. I'm going to pop this just to make sure we live the turn. And then next turn, it'll be good because we'll be able to see what Golden Frieza and Sorbet look like once the first 7 turns is up and we lose that attack buff as well. We'll probably make these the last 2 turns, right? So we'll do this one right here. So, you know, we're under the 50% HP, so we'd have the 50% damage reduction, we'd have the extra 50% attack, and we're still within the first 7 turns. Then next turn, right, what is a 100% attack and offensive buff for the first 7 turns, it just becomes 100% defense after the 8th turn. So we're going to lose some attacking power off of Golden Frieza and Sorbet there. We'll go ahead and skip ahead, we'll get that turn, and then we'll finish up. Let me know what you guys think about this unit, but again, I think for some like Super Battle Road type scenarios and stuff like that, this character could be okay. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and see what we get right here. So, we're still under 50%, but now the turns are over. I just want to see what Golden Frieza and Sorbet's attack set's going to be right here. No support, we are below 50% HP, but we did lose, I believe, that first attack buff that Golden Frieza's got right here. So let's go ahead and see what he gets to. And the attack set we get is 1.83. Damage-wise, this is certainly not a very impressive character. Alright, this is Dastardly Last Resort, Golden Frieza, and Sorbet. Their leader skills, the Join Forces category key 3 and 77% of stats, or Tech type key 3 and 50% of stats. The super attack is Contingency Plan, which does supreme damage and has a high chance, a 50% chance of stunning the enemy, and then raises extreme class allies' attack and defense by 20% for 1 turn. Their passive skill, Painstaking Preparations, gives 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. They get another 100% attack and defense for the first 7 turns. Then they get 100% defense starting from the 8th turn, and they lose that 100% attack right there. Then they get 6 ki, a guaranteed crit, and then a guaranteed stun within the same turn after receiving an attack, right? So, you know, slot 1, Super Battle Road, you get the guaranteed super, the guaranteed crit, the guaranteed stun for that turn. Can be pretty helpful. And then finally, they get 50% attack and 50% damage reduction when HP is 50% or less. The 50% damage reduction along with the stun can be very, very helpful, obviously. Their link set is really bad. New Frieza Army, Brainiacs, Coward, Cold Judgment, Thirst for Conquest, Prodigy, Shattering the Limit. It's just a weird mix and assortment of links that you're not really going to be able to take too good advantage of. 12 key multiplier is 140%, which is the typical number. And then finally, the categories here are not a ton of teams because Sorbet and Golden Frieza have like nothing in common. They're on the Join Forces category right here. They're also over here on the Terrifying Conqueror team. Then right here, they are on the Final Trump Card team, actually. And then finally, they're on the Battle of Wits category. So there's this EZA, Golden Frieza, and Sorbet. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.